We don't need to sync.
No.
Okay.
We should do it anyway.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Bats.
That's the best we've ever done it.
I know.
It's not like we're a million angels. It's amazing.
It's not like we're in the same room or anything.
I know, it's good, isn't it?
Welcome to episode 99 of BigRedBarel Geek Speak, your place for all your nerdy needs on BigRedBarel.com. I am your host, Lauren, the badass of Borderlands, and with me, as always, is the Baroness of Butts, Amorous Auntie Alex.
Country butts.
Country butts, indeed. And joining us is I haven't got it in front of me, the jaunty, jubilant Joe.
Hello, City Butts.
City Butts.
As we know, we'll mix it up. We'll have all the butts.
All the butts.
All of the butts.
All the butts.
And it's Juggernaut, by the way.
Jaunty, jubilant Juggernaut.
Of Joe. How did I do that? I usually have it in front of me. God damn it. I'm jaunty, jubilant Juggernaut of Joe.
It's all good.
Yes.
It's fine.
So, this is episode 99, and it's a little mini-sode for your ears, just to give you a little taste of what's going on this week. We are currently recording in the upstairs of Loading Bar Secret Weapon, which is residing in Stradford, just before episode 100, which will be streamed before this, but this will be released, so it'll be a bit weird.
It's going to be a bit Inception, basically. It's going to be a little bit timey-wimey, kind of dreams within dreams. People are just going to have to deal, Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to give you a little mini-sode for your listening pleasure. So there's no time waste of the week. We're going to go get straight into it, and something that I've tried to record for the last 3 weeks to tell you about, because I did it almost 3 weeks ago now. The reason this episode is being recorded on the same day as episode 100 is because I've had various audio issues, and I do want to say thank you, and I'm very sorry, and thank you for your patience to my lovely co-hosts and the editor, Alex, of course.
That failed miserably to sort out your audio. You're welcome.
That room does not accept audio recordings, apparently, but that should be sorted.
It's cursed.
It is a curse.
Maybe there is a ghost who's just like, maybe they had a really bad experience with audio recording. Like, maybe they were a failed musician. They were like, I just can't deal with it. No.
Yes, so we are recording today, and that should all be sorted in the coming weeks. But we're going to kick off with the Zelda room escape game. It's not a room game. It's about 100 odd people in the same room together, all pretending to be Zelda at the same time. It's quite weird.
Zelda or Link?
Link, that's the one.
Nobody wants to actually be Zelda.
It's a very long day, and we're in a very sweaty room, unfortunately. So, based in Highbury in Islington, in a place called Highbury Assembly Rooms. It's a touring production that's been going around the world. It was only in London for one weekend, so I was lucky enough to go with a few friends. You might have seen some of the pictures on Twitter. We did find the Master Sword, and we did defeat Ganondorf. Hooray! Woo! But to be honest, we were epic heroes of time, and it was inevitable, basically. But for the price tag and for the experience, it was a bit odd. So it's £24 a standard ticket. Well, it's best if you go in groups. So you're in teams of 6, all working together. You as a unit are Link. So one of you might be the head, arms, not literally, obviously, but the characters of Hyrule will not speak to you unless you are Link as a whole. So your whole team is there. If you go there on your own, you will be put into a team. We were in a group of 4. We ended up having 2 people with limited English skills, which was fine. But we as a whole were Link. The opening segment.
Wait. Which part of Link were you? This is an important question.
Well, you could be a limb each if there's 4 of you. Like, one person's the left arm, one's the right.
And the bowels.
Oh yeah.
Alex would be the butts if she was there.
Duh.
So the opening thing was ridiculous and laughable. It was a video display with American guy, pretending to be kind of Zelda, Temple of Time type thing. Yeah, we had a male Zelda, which is pretty cool. He was running around on stage trying to be super enthusiastic, and then the video came on, which looked like someone had coloured in some printouts of Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, cut them out, and just moved them in front of a camera for a while, putting random captions in, taking bits out of the final battle of one of the games. I think it was Skyward Sword. That was laughable. The game itself was brilliant. Lots of really thought-through puzzles. It wasn't as tactile as you might imagine. There was a lot of paper puzzles that you had to figure out. You had to make sure you read all the different literature. There were certain things that you wouldn't know unless you read things from about half an hour earlier. You had to go to the Great Deku Tree, the Gerudo Temple, you had to go see the Gorons, you had to smash some pots, and then you end up in the Temple of Time. You have different coloured hats to travel through time with the ocarina, so it's very involved. And that whole thing was very, very fun. We all got really into it. It was great. At the end, though, they spent about half an hour explaining all the answers to us, which really took the shine out of it. It's like, fair enough, not all the teams won. There was about 5 out of 24 teams that didn't win. So the rest of us were all waving our Master Swords about, which you can't keep, unfortunately.
Aww.
Yeah, and they explained every single answer. It's like, dude, this is cutting into my drinking time. I've just won. I want to celebrate. We're not allowed to have any food or drinks in there, so we're all parched. Anyway.
I mean, surely wouldn't it be easier, because most of you got their answers right, wouldn't it be easier just to give out a leaflet with the correct answers for people who wanted to know them?
Yeah, absolutely. Or just like a little link to YouTube thing that comes out after the entire series is done, because I think it's actually closed now. It was going to like Moscow and places like that, but I think its run is finished. Although it might be coming back. So this, obviously, there's no spoilers for any answers here. And then once you finish with the explanations, then you go back to the video of the little cutouts and bits from the game where you're defeating Ganondorf, and the guy's like, everyone raise your swords! You need to stab Ganondorf! It's like, no, that's Ganon. He's in his pig form. Come on, get it right. and then he's got a giant wooden Master Sword.
It's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Ganondorf's the sexy one, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Hello, my name is Alex. I know nothing about Zelda except the pots. I know about the pots.
Yes. So he's running around the stage like a loon, pretending to stab the screen, stabbing into the air, pretending Ganondorf's coming down on him. It's like, it's just a dude on his own. It's like, imagine you go to a park and there's LARPing, but it's just one dude on his own. And he's really super into it. It's like, okay, you do you. Fine. So that was good. And then as you leave, there's a photo op in air quotes, which is literally just standing in front of the picture. And there's like, you can have a little chicken, beware chicken signs and all that, but we just left. There was the option of the gold package where you get a poster and a coin for an extra £10. Like, nah.
Was coin any good at least?
No, it wasn't even the size of a £2 coin. It's like in between £1 and £2 size, quite thin. It just didn't look good. And then you could get 2 exclusive pins, which one was a boss key from the game and the other was just like the logo of the event. And they were 18 quid for 2 pins.
This is an official sponsored Nintendo thing?
It didn't start off as, but with the release of
Breath of the Wild?
That's the one. Yeah, Breath of the Wild. For some reason I kept thinking Spirit Tracks because I like that game. But yeah, so they then end up being linked with it because but I'm sure.
Sorry, took a bit.
Took a bit. Because it was getting so popular and people really liked it, and I think Nintendo's starting to realize, like, don't just sue everyone. Don't be a dick. Go with it. People like this kind of stuff. But for the price tag, I wouldn't go. Admittedly, we did get press tickets, but this is my honest opinion. It was a really good game. You'd need a good group of you to go. Even if you don't like Zelda, it is a really fun experience. But to be honest, I would do it for about between 15 and 20. 24 was pushing it, especially since that's per person. And definitely don't get the gold or silver or buy any of the merch. There's no point. But it's fun. Good time.
I mean, at least if it was like a t-shirt or something. I don't know.
If there was a t-shirt with the gold package, fair enough. That's understandable. Or like something a bit more than a coin that you could lose within 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does seem quite expensive for what it was.
Yeah, especially since it's in an assembly hall, so it kind of felt like a jumble sale a little bit.
Right, yeah,
so it had all these tables set up, people wandering around. There's a guy dressed as Navi, which is literally a guy black outfit with a blue ball stuck on it with some wings. He was pretty chill. I quite like Navi. He was alright. But for that price tag, you'd expect a bit more. But yeah, it was quite fun.
Can I just say, this is the 3rd time I'm listening to the story, and you've nailed it this time.
Yay! Thank you! Thank you! Speaking of something that's a little disappointing, I think more so than the price tag of this event. Joe, what did you watch this week?
Yeah, okay. So to say disappointing would suggest that I had high hopes for it to begin with, when of course I did not. It's on Netflix, it's an old film. I watched The Green Inferno,
yes.
Which is Eli Roth's attempt at a cannibal horror film. Okay? Now I'm very forgiving of a horror film. I will watch most horror films because I love them. And you know, he's made some decent films like Cabin Fever is alright. Nice background.
Oh yeah.
Good, yeah. I think it's apt.
Live recording.
I mean,
that's Stratford. That's Stratford for you.
Yep.
So basically he's long professed to be a huge fan of like the classic exploitation 70s, 80s cannibal horror films, things like Cannibal Ferox and Zombie Holocaust and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this is kind of his love letter to that. And I think even the name, The Green Inferno, is a little reference to an in-joke from one of the films, but I'm not sure which one. So kind of, I can see what he's trying to do, and he's trying to approach it with a sense of humour, and it's almost meant to be a comedy horror. But the jokes just are so base, they just don't work. So,
what kind of jokes were they?
Well, I shall get...
Well.
So the story basically follows a group of very privileged and naive American activists who go to the Amazon because they're trying to disrupt logging that is obviously decimating an Amazonian tribe. And they're all like, the stereotypical vegan, hippie, millennial kind of, man, this is so bad. We need to go, we need to do something. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
And there's a scene at the beginning where and it's obviously foreshadowing things in the film, where they're watching stuff about female genital mutilation, and the girls are going, they're all like, oh, this is really bad, what can we do? And one girl goes, well, my dad's a lawyer, I bet he could sort it out. And I'm like,
oh no.
What? And I'm just like, okay, you've got centuries of culture and religion to go against there, but go for it, girl. You have a go. See
you got lawyered.
These are the people that are like the heroes of the film. So they're onto a loser from the start. You know that they're pretty much all going to die. So they all go and they do this thing where they chain themselves to the logging machines. They're all like, boo, loggers out, boo. And then it turns into a bit of a, like, what happens is the logging company is being supported by essentially a drug cartel.
Of course. Of course.
So it all turns into a bit of a palaver, and the people end up running away, and they get on their plane, and it's all been a big success at this point. They're like, yeah, we did a thing, we put a video on YouTube, we got loads of hits, woo, we've raised awareness, it's been great.
Did they have a private jet or something?
Yeah, they had like one of these little not like a posh private jet.
Oh, like a prop
but it was
plane.
like a prop plane, basically. And then the plane has an issue and they crash, and it's bloody ridiculous. So they crash into the jungle. Like half of them are killed instantly, which is fine. Like one of them gets a thing through the face, and it's pretty gruesome. And it's like, and that up to that point, the film, even though the characters are all hateful idiots, it's quite enjoyable. And then they encounter an Amazonian tribe, and this is where it crosses over from being. Yes.
I want to know, describe how the Amazonian tribe looks, because I bet I have an idea, but I want to hear.
Stereotypical.
It's so stereotypical. So basically, the film was very justly accused of being quite offensive in its presentation of indigenous peoples, and I would say that is definitely not far off the mark. So it's like your typical, they're all painted, and it's like what people in a 50s movie would paint a tribe to look at, kind of thing. It's completely ridiculous. And of course, none of them speak English. And of course, they're all cannibals.
Hey!
So they fire in and they kill a few of them straight away. And then they take the others back to their base and keep them all in a cage. And then one guy gets killed straight away in front of all the others. And it's super, super gruesome.
Of course, is he rough?
Yeah, I mean, he's laying it on a bit thick, and it's a bit lacking in class.
How long ago was this?
I think this was after 2010, I think.
Is it after Hostel?
Yes. Oh yeah, this is his most recent film, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's just appeared on Netflix, basically, which is the only reason I watched it. There's no way I was going to pay money for it, because I knew it was dreadful.
Absolutely.
So, and it's just... so this poor guy who gets it first, so they carry him to a table, and they do all these, they're doing all the chanting and stuff. It is like someone just said, what does a cartoon of an Amazonian tribe look like? And that's what these characters are.
Sorry, do they have the lip thing?
Yeah! So, some of them have bones through their nose and
the
stuff like that.
Thing.
And I'm just like, what the? He has obviously never actually researched real tribes. It's ludicrous. No, I'm not saying I'm any expert in Amazonian tribes.
It's just what you've seen on The Simpsons.
But it's so obviously a stereotype. But it works for what he's trying to do. He's making an exploitation film. He's just forgotten that we're 30 years on from exploitation films, and to do that now, you have to be a bit clever about it. Like Cabin in the Woods, right? It was an exploitation film in a way that threw back to films like that, but in a clever, postmodern, referential and funny way.
I love that film.
Whereas this does not. So this poor chap, they carry him onto this table, and there's this priestess woman who like uses a hook and pulls out one of his eyes and eats it straight away. Pulls out, eats that, cuts his tongue out, eats his tongue, and then they hack his legs off and then cook his leg and stuff.
I think I saw the trailer for this. Was there a bit where like a bunch of kids eat a body?
Yes. So so they all get fed their friend later. This is spoilers, by the way, because
I don't think you're spoiling anything.
I'm saving you really from having to watch this. In spite of myself, I found myself kind of enjoying it because it is so terrible. It was kind of at that point where I was just like, okay, go carry on, keep going.
It's a Z movie.
This is already ludicrous enough. Then it progresses from that point into... See, at that point, it's so gruesome, that scene where this poor guy gets eaten alive, that you're just like, yeah, all right, I can see that maybe this has got legs, maybe he's going to... Obviously, the stereotypes are dreadful and the characters are all dreadful, but maybe he's going to make it work as just a shocky, horror, gruesome film, and it might be okay. But it just descends into just absolute crass stupidity with no redeeming features whatsoever. Like, there's diarrhea jokes in it, there's pot jokes in it. Like, at one point... their friend because the tribe bring them all food, right? And obviously you wouldn't in your right mind eat anything that this tribe give you.
Nope.
But they're all like, if we're going to escape, we need energy. So they're all eating it. I'm like, you're idiots. And then they realise they're eating their friend. And they're like, what?
What's that disease? There's a disease that if you eat human flesh or human brains, that it causes your brain to rot.
Oh, I have no idea.
That's called turning into a Ventigo.
It was in Bones.
I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, so and there's one girl who she's hesitant to eat it at first, and they're all like, "It's just pork. It's fine. It's just pork." And she's like, "But I'm a vegan." And then she eats it anyway, and I'm like, "Okay, fine."
You're not that vegan, are you?
Yeah, you're not that vegan. If after just one day with a tribe,
she's a lipstick vegan, if anything.
And then she realises it and kills herself. So she basically smashes the bowl and stabs herself in the neck. Spoilers, sorry.
Why didn't they stab other people with the bowl?
Oh, this is so silly. And then the other guys decide, let's fill her body full of weed, right? Because they all still have marijuana on them. They haven't lost any of their marijuana in the journey through the plane crash or nothing. They've still got like a huge bag of weed. So they put it in the body and they're like, yeah, this is how we'll escape. We'll get them all high.
We should have saved this one for the Bing podcast.
And then so they eat this person that's killed themselves, and the tribe will get really high, and then they try to escape, and one of them gets caught. And then he's like, oh no, they've got the munchies. So I did laugh at that point. I was like, okay, fine. In spite of myself, it's kind of fun. But this is the kind of horror it is. Like, it's not clever enough to be a good horror comedy like Cabin in the Woods. It's not horror enough and scary enough to work on its own as a horror. It's just like lowest common denominator, frat boy, schlock, gruesome, bleh. Which, to be honest... maybe that's okay, maybe if you're alright with that. And I did, in spite of myself, find myself kind of enjoying it, even though it's absolutely appalling. But yeah, it is super offensive, and if I am watching it in an actual, like, serious film person mode, it's terrible. And someone needs to stop him. Like, if he comes up with films like this, people just need to go, no. It is not 1974. Just stop.
Eli.
It's modern times. You can't make films like this now. And I haven't even talked about when they go more into female genital mutilation, but I think, I don't want the listeners to just turn off completely. It's on Netflix.
Don't watch it.
If you're strong of stomach and...
just don't watch it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting from you.
I can't really recommend it, seriously. I mean, I watched it and laughed because it was so terrible, but I honestly can't recommend it as a film that is worth your time.
Okay, moving on to something which...
a little more savoury.
A little more savoury. I think schlocky in a different way. Not something I would watch. I don't think... Joe, would you watch this?
What is it?
Alex?
Nashville, and she does watch it.
I love Nashville.
Oh, am I the only one who doesn't?
Me and Alex have been having talks about Nashville.
I know. No, thank you.
I like Nashville. I like it actually more than I thought I would. So
it sneaks in. It grabs you.
I know.
Stealthy.
Yeah, right? So this is drama, soap opera, whatever you want to call it, about musicians in Nashville. There's a lot of country music in there, and which is actually really, really good. And the two starring roles are Connie Britton and Hayden Panettiere. Panettiere?
Yeah,
whatever. I usually call her
Just call her the cheerleader and we all know who you mean.
Yeah, we know.
Connie Britton, she plays Raina James, and she is the legend of country music. She is famous, but she's trying to catch up with the ages. Her new album is not selling very well. The new head of the label is not really appreciative of what she wants to do with her music. On the other hand, we've got Hayden Panettiere, who plays Juliet Barnes, and she is your typical starlet.
She's like a Tay-Tay, isn't she? Like Taylor Swift, but a bit more Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Okay. Taylor Swift, kind of.
A bit more Barbie-like.
Yeah, she's like the Britney of the country music scene.
Yeah. But despite surfaces, she's actually quite talented, and she can actually do really great music, but because it's not her brand, no one lets her do that, and that's the thing that she struggles with. And the show develops so much more. I'm in the middle of season 4 at the moment.
How many are there?
About 5, I think.
Yeah, we're on season 5 now on Sky, and it's the last season.
Okay.
I honestly, there's a lot of things I enjoy about it. Now, there's a lot of kind of soap opera drama that you would expect, but there are also some genuinely interesting and touching points. One of my favorite strands of the story is the discussion of the gay country musician and how he's struggling, that first he has to hide the fact that he's gay because I mean, I know 0 things about country. I don't know how accepting that crowd is. All my experience is whatever that show told me. So if that is not the case, I apologize. I mean, I do in general find that discussion, whether that's specific to country or specific to some other very conservative crowd, I find that very interesting. I think that conversation applies there as well. So I'm not kind of listener of country in my, during my day. I actually just enjoy the music from that show. So I don't know how true that is. But the point is that he's really struggling because gay country musicians are not generally accepted. If you're non-gay country musician, they don't play you on country radio and so on. And that character struggles with it a lot. First he tries to hide it, then he ends up revealing it, and then he gets trouble because the label drops him and everything else. And I'm kind of getting to the point in the story where they actually fighting back for the rights. And that, I think that is a fantastic storyline, even though I did not like the actor to begin with, but I'm getting really into how the character he plays.
I think, it's very soapy, their representation of that, but it isn't too far from the truth. I'm not a massive fan of country. I like it enough, but obviously country is very much the heartland music of a lot of Republican areas of America, very God-fearing, very conservative. And I think some of the more moderate sort of conservatives are coming around to kind of the gay country musician, and it's kind of okay. But I think, to be fair, the show handled it pretty well. It seemed pretty kind of on the money. It wasn't too overwrought and too soapy. It felt kind of believable, which I thought was quite good.
Who was the actor who played him?
It's the guy, he's from, Chris Carmack is the guy.
He's in 30, he's in Just My Luck.
Yeah. But I remembered him before Nashville from the OC.
Oh, he's in something else I watched the other day.
He was not a nice person in the OC. He was like the typical jock high school guy, if I remember rightly.
With his jawline, he tends to play douchebag jocks.
But he's very good in this. He's very good in Nashville. Very sympathetic, but believable, and not too soapy, not too, oh, woe is me, I'm a gay country star kind of thing. It's kind of, it's very good. Yeah, it's a really good show, actually. Like, I don't watch any soaps, but I love Nashville. It's good.
The only soap I watch is WWE.
That's fine.
I watch quite a lot of soaps. I enjoy. I think I said this on the show before. I'm very interested about stories about human relationships, and not necessarily romance and who cheated on who. And I'll come to kind of my criticism of Nashville in the beginning. A bit soon, but. A bit soon? That's not English, but you got what I mean. But I'm generally enjoy, and I watch quite a bit of soaps, so I see the range of what they're doing, and I think Nashville, in that sense, it managed to surprise me a lot of ways. There are moments that actually made me tear up a bit and made me really feel for the characters.
Me too.
So it goes, there's some absolutely fantastic episodes out there that I really, really enjoy, just as a story of the musicians in the city, their interaction, fighting to express themselves with their music, how their music is created. I mean, that's one thing I actually wish I know the actors are not necessarily musicians themselves, but I do wish they showed more of them in the process of the making music and how they come up with that. But that maybe that's not exactly necessary. That's just my personal interest. However, there are a couple of things that really infuriate me, and I've actually had a tweet rant about it because I could not wait for this episode. I had to get it out. The show likes to fabricate drama a lot of the times.
Oh, totally. Yeah, definitely.
So this character has a secret, and it's going to be really important for other characters. But this character doesn't want to cause them pain or doesn't want to seem weak or whatever. So they're going to keep it a secret.
They're going to keep it to themselves and just brood.
Yeah, exactly. And that's gonna affect everyone's life, and everyone's gonna be like, what the hell? What is happening? How do we deal with this? And then that big secret with a capital S is gonna be found out because the narrative makes, hello, beep beep, the narrative makes one character accidentally walk on them or accidentally look at their phone.
Where does that happen in life?
Like, oh my god, I walked in on you.
No!
Oh, he's got lipstick on his chick. That means they must be sleeping together. Oh, what am I gonna do? And it's really frustrating because I don't think, I get it. They need to be dramatic, but there is a lot of interest there already. There's a lot of going on stuff. There's a lot of depth. To be fair, I think the Will Lexington, the gay star, I think that's one of the more chilled storylines. The one that kind of had, you know, even when he was sort of revealed to be gay, it kind of made sense how they've done that.
Who are the showrunners?
It's Callie Khoury, and yeah, we just looked it up, and basically Thelma and Louise is the only thing I kind of know.
No, I've never seen that.
It's very good.
It's never interested
me.
Very
good. It's of its time. Like, it has not aged particularly well, but Brad Pitt still gets naked.
Oh,
I'm not bothered by that. I do love Susan Sarandon though.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah. She's
did you ever watch? What was it called? It was the Joan Crawford. One.
Yeah.
Oh,
God damn it, my brain.
Feud. That was amazing. I haven't finished it, but that was so good. Sorry, Karen.
Yeah, well, so that part of the narrative really annoys me because I think we've been doing this kind of storytelling for so many years, ever since soap operas have been created. And gosh, I think, haven't we evolved? Haven't we figured out through writing so many different soaps? Again, soaps are like one of the biggest types of television production out there, you know, in terms of like TV series and stuff. Yeah. Haven't we figured out better ways to create drama, a more realistic one, and more, you know, where you think would happen on a daily life? Because that kind of drama certainly doesn't happen in real life.
One thing, obviously I'm up to date, so I'm on season 5, which is the final season, and they're just over halfway through, I think. There are some storylines in this season that are a bit more believable, a bit more modern, a bit more kind of affecting, like there's a race storyline and things like that, and there's a death storyline that I won't go into details, and there's a few other things. So this season does seem a little bit more kind of less drama soapy. It still has its moments, but it definitely seems to have sort of calmed that down a little bit. But I guess maybe they're slowly tiring it down towards the end. Because it's going to end this season.
I mean, another thing, and I don't know because you said race, so I'm assuming this is a very white show.
It's from the south, isn't it?
This is Nashville. You know, it's. I think, to be fair, again, season 5, I think they got some criticism for that and have addressed it. Yeah, maybe a little bit tokenism. Sort of, perhaps.
Even the ones that they got read, like none of them ever stuck. None of those black characters have ever stuck in the show.
I guess it's kind of like, in reality, do proper deep south country music stars really have that in their life anyway? I don't know. You know, is it maybe that to include black characters would be tokenistic and not actually accurate to the country music scene? I don't think so. I think these days there are plenty of races, creeds, sexes doing country music, so I think they should be featured. But yeah, they do get a little bit more featured in season 5.
Exactly. Again, I don't know, but I'm just asking all these questions.
What channel is this broadcast on in the States? Because I know CBS has come into 5 because there's a bunch of things that are coming on their fall headline. And they've been accused of whitewashing. There's one person of colour lead out of all their 4 shows. And they're all dudes.
It was on one channel. I'm not sure if it was CBS or ABC.
Okay.
I think
it's
lying.
ABC.
All right.
But it got cancelled and then picked up by actually a country channel.
It's on, CMT fund it.
Okay.
But obviously we have it on Sky or Now TV here.
Yeah.
The channel I really know from the States is Stars or HBO.
Stars. Yeah.
Ash vs. Evil Dead. Oh, that's
Stars did Sparkus as well. Oh, Sparkus.
Yeah.
That's
surprisingly good.
So good.
Yeah. And my last bit of criticism, and that's what we were discussing with Joe today, is that there is a main love interest, I guess, called Deacon Claiborne. And God, I could not find anything bloody attractive about that man. He is infuriating.
He's not bald. He hasn't got pointy ears. He's not skinny.
Okay.
He doesn't even know any magic. I mean, what the...
How dare you? How dare you?
Honestly.
Oh,
I'm on the other fence. I think he's fine. I think he's okay.
Fine or fine? Oh, so he's just fine.
Okay. He's okay.
He's adequate.
He's a massive alcoholic, so that's kind of a bit of a turn off.
No, to be honest, that part of his storyline I like. So he was a really famous artist touring with the main character. They were in love. He was an alcoholic. He gave her a really hard time. She had to walk away from him because he was struggling. He went into rehab. He came up after struggling for it. You know, he stopped drinking. He was doing well. Something happened. He relapsed into it. There were lots of issues. But he's very angry. He's very violent. He does a lot of stupid stuff. Like, the stuff like that, you know, don't go to that place because you're gonna end up fighting with that dude and that's gonna look bad for the situation. What does he do? Exactly goes to that place, gets in a fight with that dude.
We need the drama.
But he's so stupid.
He's a stereotypical Texan then?
It's fairly stereotypical, yeah. But he improves.
Okay.
Yeah.
He improves.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. And they're also a bunch of whiny teenagers. I mean, again, apparently they approve in the next season, but so far this teenage character have not spent one episode not whining about something.
True story. Gunner, the country music singer Gunner, who's with Scarlett, and they're in the band The X's in the show.
Yeah.
He is British.
Oh.
She's Australian.
Yes, I know that.
He's British, and I'm friends with his cousin.
Hey! 6 degrees of separation.
She probably won't listen to this, but if you do, hi Amy.
Okay, so summary. Them two like Nashville. I'm never gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's for you, Lauren.
No.
I think it would make you angry.
Probably.
Hey, it makes me angry, but somehow it still sucks me in.
I love it. It's like
I'll stick with Preacher.
Catnip.
Thank you.
Oh, Preacher.
I need to catch up actually.
Right now.
Okay, so we are going to wrap up for episode 99. So this is our mini-sode. Thank you very much for listening. If you have given us comments and so forth, you will be shouted out on episode 100. So for episode 99 of BigRedBarel Geek Speak, I've been Lauren.
I've been Butts.
I've just been Joe.
I will bid you goodbye.
Bye.
Butts. More beer.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarel.com.